Today's video, I'm gonna go through the updated annual budgeting spreadsheet and also the net worth tracker in my money diary series where I cover my income and my expenses, my money mindsets, everything that goes behind the scenes as to how I manage my personal finances using this spreadsheet. I do have a dedicated playlist which I'll link up above and down below. Those of you who have purchased previously, you can now go back to Coffee and download the 2024 version. I'll put the details down in the description box below. You'll get lifetime free updates every single year when I do it for myself. So in today's video, I'm going to use the 2024 spreadsheet, guide you guys through how to use it and how I'm using this to plan out my finances for 2024. So without further ado, let's dive straight into today's video. Let's go. For those of you who are looking for reasons as to why you should be tracking your finances meticulously, I'll recommend you to watch this video which I've done a few months back on why I meticulously track my finances for the past 8 years of my life and how it has empowered me to make certain life decisions. This is the annual budgeting spreadsheet for 2024. I've tested it and used it in November, which I'll share with you guys how you can actually use this spreadsheet if you would like to. If you feel it's applicable to you, then go ahead and buy the spreadsheet. But if not, do it for yourself because at the end of the day, personal finance is very personal. So this annual overview dashboard is where I can see at an overview from January to December what my income is, my expenses is, and also in addition to that, my savings and the savings rate that I've attained every single month. Something new about this is the goals section at the bottom, where at the start of the year, I want to set for myself certain goals when it comes to my income, variable expenses, fixed expenses, and also my savings rate. For myself in 2024, the income goal that I have is to make $5,000 every single month. I try to with the work effort that I put in, but if not, then I'll have to adjust things accordingly. In addition to that, the second goal is to live out my rich life of spending on coffee, desserts, and also bread, of which are things that I love. I have read a few books during the break that I took in November. One of the books that talks about this is called Die with Zero, where the aim of it is to die with zero, literally. So it's how you can use the money that you have saved up along your years of mobility to enjoy experiences while also strike a balance saving for retirement. So you don't want to just save, work, and just reach an age of 60 years old and then think about how you want to spend your money that you have worked hard for and saved up. By then, at 60 years old, you probably will be a little bit sick, problems in certain areas, and you will not enjoy certain life experiences as much as you would when you are in your 20s and in your 30s. So that book is something that I'm still reading. I'm going through half of it right now, but something that I've taken away from it is to be able to enjoy certain experiences, things that I love, while at the same time striking a balance to save towards my retirement days as well. One thing that I want to be able to enjoy and live a little in 2024 is to just spend on things that I love. So one of it is also spending on books, of which I have not included here. In the past, I used to think spending on books is a waste of money. I can usually just go to the library, but physical books is something that I like and have always gone back to. During my November break, I even bought a book as well. So this is how I want to be living out my rich life. It's one of the goals that I have for 2024. Not thinking about spending on books and also things that I enjoy, which is coffee, desserts, and bread. So my fixed expenses, the goal is to have no installments, any installments at all. When it comes to platforms like Shopee, Lazada, if I'm not wrong, they have 0% installment free payment plans. I do not have the habit of doing this. In the past, I used to back like 3 to 4 years ago when I didn't think too much about my personal finances. I would think, the money sits in a bank for a longer period of time. It earns me interest. So 0% interest free installment payment plans makes sense. However, after discovering and taking advantage of credit card points, in addition to that cashback, I have stopped using such things. For those of you who spend on credit and subsequently incur credit card debt, it is something you want to avoid as well. So if you have that habit, some goals that you can set for yourself is to avoid 0% installment free payment plans. Create this habit and in the future, you will thank yourself for it. And also not incur any credit card debt. Always pay off your credit card bills timely so that you do not incur the interest charge on the outstanding amount that you have with the banks. It usually snowballs to quite a bit. Change my endowment and also my life insurance premiums from monthly to yearly. For endowment plan, I have already initiated it. I do need to double check whether it has gone through or not. For life insurance, I have to go back to Singapore to get it done because I need to be in person to do that. For my variable expenses goal in 2024 when I'm back in Singapore is to have it between $500 to $600 every single month. If you have watched the early days of Money Diaries, you know that I do not spend a lot of money, and that is why I have kept it at $500 to $600 monthly. For savings, in 2024, the average monthly savings rate I want to attain for myself is at 70%. After reviewing 2023 and the percentage that I have been saving every single month, it's anywhere between 70 to 80% besides January and February. So I think with whatever income that comes in, the savings rate could have actually been a lot more, but I'm letting myself a little bit loose to not be so stressed and aggressive with my savings. I want to practice striking a balance between living a little and also saving towards my retirement. I do not have a goal in mind as to what I need to save up for in terms of example, housing renovations, housing down payments, etc. But I love this quote from Psychology of Money where it says, saving does not require a goal of purchasing something specific. You can just save for saving's sake. Psychology of Money is a book that I would recommend reading. For those of you who want the topic of personal finance, it's a book that's very interesting to read. I'll link it up above and down below. In my morning newsletters, which I will consistently send out from 2024 onwards, I want to touch on this topic about this book on Psychology of Money as well. So if you have not subscribed to the newsletter that I have, link will be down in the description box below. So this is the annual overview dashboard. Once you go into the next tab, there is the category breakdown of which you need to amend if you are using this spreadsheet. In the individual portions to your income, variable expenses, and also fixed expenses, the categories that you have is going to be different from mine, and that is why you need to amend this portion. So income, I've broken it down to bond interest, bank interest, dividends, cashback, and also others. Others can be things like selling things and then I earn an income from it. For fixed expenses, the breakdown that I have here is always going to be different from what you have in yours as well. You get the gist. Just amend the description portion. For January all the way until December, these will be auto-populated once you fill in the individual tabs. So once you go into the monthly tab, take for example for January, this is how it's gonna look like. What you want to do is to key in your budget that you have for your variable expenses. This is something new. So as you can see over here, under cafe and desserts, if let's say I put $100 for the month of January, as you key in your daily expense tracker, let's say you reach mid of the month and you have spent $80 on cafe, it will highlight the cell in yellow and you can see that actually you are almost bursting your budget. So this is the conditional formatting which I've set up over here. The percentage is at 80%. If you want to change the percentage, you can. All you need to do is to just right click on the cell, press view more cell action, conditional formatting, and you'll be able to see that the value between 80% of the budget, it will highlight it in yellow. And once you have crossed the budget, anywhere above the budget amount, it will be in red. And that will signal to you that you have actually burst your budget. You either budget for more for that month, if not, cut down on your expenses for that category. This is something new in 2024's budgeting spreadsheet. The percentage amount, as I mentioned, you can change in the conditional formatting portion, but I set for myself a budget percentage of 80% and it will highlight to me in yellow that I'm about to burst my budget. An example for you, if you want to see for how I've actually done out for myself, is November's 2023 Money Diaries, which I have not shared on the channel. At this point of the video, I just want to highlight one portion. If you take a look at November's Money Diaries, you would see that I've earned $240 over in bank interest, and this in fact is from Moomoo SG Fullerton Cash Fund daily returns because of their 5.8% per annum guaranteed returns promotion that I've taken advantage of. I've earned a total guaranteed return of $208.22 just by depositing a little over $30,000 into the SGD Fullerton Cash Fund. For those of you who are new users to Moomoo Singapore, they are still running the promotion. If you use my sign up link down in the description box below, there is an exclusive $20 sign up reward when you deposit your first $100 and make one buy trade. In addition to that, there's also all the stocks that they're giving you when you fulfill the following steps. More details down in the description box below. If you have any questions, DM me on Instagram or leave it down in the comment section below. Don't miss this 5.8% per annum return for the first 30 days guaranteed to you just based on your deposit of up to $80,000. No minimum amount that you need to put into the fund in order to get this 5.8%. Let's get back into today's video. Let's go. I have actually used this spreadsheet for myself, and as you can see, my variable expenses in the month of November, I've burst quite a lot of categories, but the theme of November is Let Loose November because I've aggressively saved from January all the way up until October. I wanted to let loose a little, enjoy while I was in Japan, and I spent without thinking about my budget. So that is how much I've incurred. In a month of November, I spent a total of $1,300 in my variable expenses. This is the annual budgeting spreadsheet. Additionally, one more thing that you need to amend if you do download this spreadsheet is the miscellaneous tab. This is the accounts portion where you key in things like what credit cards you have, savings account that you have, and it will directly link to the daily expense tracker, where in the account section, you can choose what account did this expense come from. Customize it to yourself and it will auto-populate within January to December. Another spreadsheet that I have is also the net worth tracker. One thing about the net worth tracker is that using it to track my entire net worth throughout the entire year has helped me to see how I've progressed from January all the way up until December. In the past, I didn't use to track my entire net worth. One thing I've omitted is also tracking my CPF amount. So in 2024 net worth tracker, there is the CPF portion where you can key in to take note of how much you have, and you'll be able to see and apportion accordingly. So what I've done is that I've split according to cash, emergency funds, bonds and T-bills that I hold, and also my stocks capital. This will allow me to see how much I should be allocating a little bit more into investing into stock. What investments I have, I do have it on my website. I'll link up above and down in the description box below. I split it accordingly because I want to allocate accordingly. I don't want to just focus on keeping all of the amount in my cash savings account or my emergency funds, but I do also want to allocate it into, let's say, 30% into bonds so that I have a diversified portfolio and I know that I'm not overly invested into stocks. The goal for 2024, I have not set it yet, along the lines of having $30,000 in emergency funds because I'm self-employed and I do know that subsequently it's not as stable when it comes to my income, and that is why I want to allocate a little bit more for my emergency funds and also the cash that I can draw down upon. Anything above and beyond will be allocated into either bonds or stocks, but I want to split it according to the risk appetite that I have for myself. So for example, if I'm a risk taker and I want to invest a little bit more into riskier things, you can track it using the net worth tracker so that you know how much is invested into stocks, how much is invested into bonds, and so on and so forth. This is the 2024 annual budgeting spreadsheet and also the 2024 net worth tracker, all listed on Ko-fi, of which you can purchase it as a bundle or individually. If there's anything that you have questions about, you can always DM me on Instagram or email me directly. And that is all I have for today's video. If you have found this useful or you have any questions at all, as always, I'm open to receive any feedback that you have. Don't forget to set your goals for 2024, budget, but also live a little, enjoy. I'll share more about this kind of principles in the subsequent videos that I have lined up. Thank you for watching and for supporting this channel in 2023. Any feedback is always welcome. I am just a normal human being trying to share as much as I can, impart any knowledge, little bit of knowledge that I have when it comes to budgeting. Enjoy your year-end holidays and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.